Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Popeye Ultimates Wave 2 Wimpy, or as I like to call him, the T-Biz figure. Of course, it's brought to us by the fine folks over at Boss Fight Studios, and this character right here is notorious for that iconic line, "I'll gladly pay you next Tuesday for a hamburger today." So, before we get too far ahead of ourselves with, well, if you ask me, not too terrible voice impressions, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Wimpy has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with the pair of alternate hands. They're very specific hands. You ask me, he's got the pinky up, and he's got the kind of a more, I don't know, almost looks like a Pokeball supposed to go in there. That said, if you notice, unlike some characters like the Flintstones, where they had the odd number of fingers and toes, he's got like all 5 fingers. Well, 4 fingers and a thumb. Just like, I think Popeye's got. Yeah, he's got 4 fingers and thumb too. I'm off screen here. Of course, we also get an alternate head. And I'm happy to say that his hat does actually stay on. I'm not taking it off, but he does come packaged with it, and it does snap onto his little hair patch there. So that's nice. But they did it. Almost looks like he got a mohawk. He comes with this, is this a music player or something? Like, don't they usually have the little monkey with the fez dance around when this thing is being used? Because it's got this working crank here. So somebody tell me what this is. But that's pretty cool. And then of course, he's got to come with some hamburgers. Got 2. And then he's got 1 more, which has a bite taken out of it. So that's pretty awesome. I actually didn't notice that one had a bite taken out of it. Otherwise, I would have put that in his hand for the final thoughts picture. Oh well, it is what it is. Does this fit in the pinky up hand? Kind of does. There you go. I guess I could do that. But I don't know. Not entirely sure which hand this is made to go in, but you know what? I think I might actually pop this back on and use that instead. Just have them with 1, you know. That said, now we take a closer look at Wimpy here. They did a great job with this figure. There's a little flash on his arm here, but other than that, nothing too egregious. I think the second wave, which is where this guy hails from, is a little bit better than the first. They come with more accessories. I mean, olive oil came with a lot from the first wave, but this guy comes with quite a bit. All the joints are tight, but not too tight. So as far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint. Not a ton of range, but it is just a big bulbous ball. His hat will stay on. I just knocked it off like a doofus there. It does sit at a bit of an angle. So there's that. He's got his tie. His shoulders will kick out to the side, back down. They will rotate forward and back. He does have a swivel in the elbow, as well as a hinge. It gets you about 90. And the swivel does kind of loosen up once you bend it there. I will say his wrists do turn, but they are pretty tight. At least this one is. The other one not so much. That one's pretty easy to move. He's got a ball joint in the waist, but again, not a whole lot out of it because he is a chubby guy. He leans forward a tiny bit, leans back a little bit. Nothing crazy. He does have hips that will kick out a little bit. They'll kick forward a little bit, back a little bit. He does have a thigh cut. got a swivel in the knee, single jointed knee, and then he does have the ball jointed foot like Popeye and Bluto had. I do prefer the articulation on Olive Oil's feet. It's just more useful, but they got a lot of range out of the ball pegs on these figures, so I can't give them too much crap for that. I will say he is a little top heavy for obvious reasons. He's a chubby guy, so you're gonna have to mess with him a bit to get him to stand, but once you do, he stands just fine. Moving him over though, let's compare him to my favorite character from the Popeye series, Popeye himself, because obviously Popeye throws down, Wimpy is annoying, but you know, we all know Wimpy in our real lives, don't we? Sure, Evil Villain knows a guy who's a lot like Wimpy too. So, with that being said, let's actually get Popeye out of here. They're about the same height. I honestly thought Wimpy would be shorter than Popeye, but it's fine. I think the scale works. As long as Bluto and Olive Oil are taller than everyone else. I honestly couldn't tell you the scale of the rest of them. But a lot of plastic on this figure. So much plastic. Let's bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. He's probably more willing to take something from Wimpy than give it to him. Probably give him that spiked club he's holding there. Then we have the infamous Living Spawn. His usual towers over everyone. And before Wimpy starts pestering these two for anything, why don't we move right along and wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, while he may not be my favorite character from the Popeye series, we're talking about these Ultimates brought to us by the fine folks over at Boss Fight Studios. I have to say that good old Wimpy here is probably my favorite of the figures I currently have. He's super fun. You know, he reminds me of a lot of people that get on my nerves, but at the same time, there's no denying that this figure is executed pretty much perfectly. If you ask me, he comes with plenty of accessories. It seems to me like Boss Fight stepped it up with the second wave of characters, because Wimpy here is the first figure from Wave 2 of these that I currently own. Looking forward to possibly picking up more in the future. Have to stay tuned to find out more about that. But yeah, man, it looks like they went in a step in the right direction. Gave the figures more accessories. The hat actually snaps onto the head. And, you know, just feels a little bit better in comparison to the first wave, which didn't feel bad by any means. But this guy has tight joints all around, but also doesn't feel like he's going to break on me. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.